Put on your helmets and buckle your chin straps for the wildest podcast held in the Steel City. Dubs and Chickenhawk will give you a taste of the past in fried jumbo.
Welcome, everybody. This is our 29th episode.
29,
29.
Dude.
We're here with someone that when I was growing up, I looked up to a lot.
Yeah.
He was 5 years older than me, and a lot of those kind of guys typically would pick on you or make your life miserable, but Ernie never did. Ernie was one of them guys who took pride in trying to help the other kids. Him and Clem and Stu and some of these guys down at the playground, they took a shine to us and introduced us to sports and being good people. And, so I just want to start off by welcoming Ernie and thanking you for coming, Ernie Furno.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting.
Welcome, Ern.
Welcome, Ern. My friends call me Big Ern after the bowling movie. I don't know. You ever see that movie?
No.
No. The Kingpin?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
With the guy with the bad hair?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. Yeah.
that's what they call me
because
because my hair is thinning. And I still did a comb over.
You used to.
Used to.
You're
yeah.
doing a lot better now, kid.
Yeah, doing a little bit better.
But I remember Ernie because he was older than me. Also, you always had something sports. I mean, you barely did anything but sports. You woke up and the kid had a ball in his hand doing something baseball. I mean, I never saw you just hanging out much more than just playing sports.
It's pretty much my life.
Yeah,
Still is, actually.
I think he's all-time maybe leading scorer down at the Irwin Playground, potentially, because he played a long career down there.
Yeah, he may be.
Definitely assist guy for sure. Maybe not total points, assists, rebounds. He could do it all.
I remember when I was a little kid, him hitting balls off the house or off the houses.
Yeah. He's a
right
left-handed
field.
batter.
Off the right field houses. I remember when I was like, "What the hell?" I was a little guy.
Oh, he can
And
rake.
people weren't too happy about me.
No, but that was the good old days.
Me and Troy Holderbaum used to hit that house.
And that
kid.
dude could hit it too, because that house is only about 100 yards past the fence. So I don't know how you.
Well, the length of a car street.
Yeah, it was long.
That was it.
I mean, you would hit it up into the
It was a
bricks
hill
of that
back
house.
in there. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
But no, really good athlete, football, baseball, basketball.
I got to say one thing, too. Ernie Furno. The name Ernie Furno. I'm not kidding you. If you were going to do a comic strip and you had a real good sports guy with red hair, Ernie Furno would be a perfect name, man.
Yeah.
You don't even need a script writer for that freaking
No,
name.
he's like
it's awesome.
He's like a walking movie.
Yeah, I mean, it really. If you're going to have the kid in the neighborhood with the red hair who can hit a baseball off a house, that's Ernie Furno.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just that
I
kind
knew
of
he was
name.
rocking a Trans Am.
Yeah.
Corvette. Yeah, I knew you had some fancy car. Then I'd see him at Sheets when I'm in my 30s. He's got dirt bikes in his back of his truck. He's into dirt bike racing and stuff. He's a character.
But think of that name, really. If somebody
Ernie
doesn't
Furno.
know it, we know it because we grew up with it.
Oh, yeah.
But if somebody comes in and goes, "Who's the kid with the red hair that's a good athlete?" That's Ernie Furno. You'd have to say, "What? His name's really Ernie Furno with red hair?"
Yeah.
Bashing balls on him.
They
It's
used to
crazy.
confuse my name with Ferlin, who was Township Commissioner in North Huntington.
Oh, really?
Ferlin. They used to say, "Oh, your dad's a commissioner." I'm like, "Nah, that's Ferlin. I'm Furno."
Furno. How could you
Always
miss
tell people,
Furno,
If
man?
you don't know how to remember my name, it's like if your wife asks for a fur and you tell her no.
Yeah.
Or you say it backwards, it still means the same
Yeah.
thing.
It's like
No
fire.
fur.
It's like fire. Keep it up. I'm going to show you the fire, right?
It's hysterical.
Yeah, so it's,
So you grew up, 5 houses maybe up from Stewart's on Chestnut Street, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and
I think it was 5 houses, yeah.
yeah. Were you born in Irwin?
No, I was born in Jeanette Hospital. But
Hospital, but you lived here.
lived there all my life. Yeah.
So you are an original.
Yeah, like as original as it
You are
gets.
the original.
There's
Irwin
probably not
gangster.
too many my age or older that.
Did the Stews get born in Irwin? Like
The
Danny?
Stewarts? Yeah, they were born in Irwin.
Irwin, all them?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because we didn't come to Irwin until I was 4 years old.
Right, you just come from,
McKeesport.
I was going to say Bragg, McKeesport.
Yeah. My mom lived in Braddock first. Then they moved to McKeesport. And then I was 4. Brian was maybe 7 or something like that. Nancy was maybe 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I remember you guys were young when you moved there.
Yeah, we moved there. So I consider myself O.I.G. and the Llewellyn's O.I.G.
Yeah, you were there.
Because
first,
we
you know.
were there. The way I would measure this, Ern, I have a measurement for whether you're original Irwin
He's a
gangster or
measurement,
not.
all right.
All right. So part of it is you had to go to school at Pennsylvania Avenue School or Immaculate Conception School. Because remember they had a school?
Yeah.
Down there at the church?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had to do that. Okay. You had to put in 10,000 hours at the Irwin Playground playing basketball, football, or baseball.
Yeah.
And I figured out 10,000 hours because you figure 5 hours a day, right? In the summer is 90 days in the summer. That's 450 hours. So you times that by 20 years. You got 10,000 hours in there.
I think I got probably.
And
that's only the summer. You got all year. I mean, there'd be basketball there till it was snow on the ground.
And then the third thing was 6th Street School. How much time did you put in up at that gym?
I loved that gym.
I loved
it. Wasn't the best.
That gym was awesome.
Phenomenal. And they used to go after school and play with all the teachers.
Yeah.
Mr. Bevan, Mr.
Biggs.
Mr. Bellin, Mr. Huzar.
Oh, my,
Like
Mr.
2-3 days a
Biggs.
week with them. Yeah.
And Mr.
kidding.
Bellin was a bit. They were all big dudes.
They were all big.
were.
Mr. Bellin was a house.
Mr. Bellin played football, yeah.
He could have played pro football or basketball, and he ended up going to the service. That's why he never made it into
No
the pro.
kidding.
he went to
Yeah,
the
Joe.
He was a good dude, though.
He's still alive. He lives in,
Is he?
I think, Harrisburg. I still friends with him on Facebook.
Oh, that's
once in a while.
nice.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I always
Great
liked him.
guy.
My dad liked him. Everybody's.
They used to all hang out at the Italian club. That was their big.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
That was their-
Hometown.
right after school.
Him and the
301.
Italian club downstairs.
The Italian club. No, the bar. Yeah,
The
yeah.
bar, the one that
it's-
I got thrown out of for life with you. We got
With me, I never got thrown out of
No,
the
no,
bar.
I got thrown out for life. I don't want to say
Oh.
why. Because I
In
would,
Hometown.
yeah.
Not Hotel Fire Hall. When you
Yeah,
come up
I
from
know
the
what you're
corner
saying.
tower,
But
yeah,
why
on
I'm
the right.
asking because he was such a big dude, and that ceiling's only like
Yeah,
6'5". That ceiling,
Yeah.
remember how low
He
it
looked
is?
like a
yeah,
house.
it's
He had
very
to turn
low.
sideways to get through the doorway.
Yeah.
Because the doorway was
He's a good dude, though.
Oh, great
He
guy.
always treated me good.
great guy.
Mr. Biggs was always there.
Yeah.
And we would go in there.
They were
when
there every day, 301.
Yeah.
They got off at 3 to 301. They were there.
That's the Italian Miners
Yes.
Club,
Yeah, that's
Italian
what
Minor
right?
Society.
Because that mine was right
Yeah.
there, right?
Is
yeah.
it still open, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
doing well.
My brother, who just passed away here about 2
Bern.
months ago, Bernie,
Oh, yeah.
he ran the club for about 40 years.
Did
And
he?
just gave it up here about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't
And it's
realize
still,
that.
it's not, doesn't stay open as late as it used to, but
Yeah.
I think about 11:30, 12 are usually out there. But
Yeah.
it's still going.
Broncos still going down there? Did you?
Bronco still goes there. I don't
Yeah.
go into much. I got
Yeah.
my new dues is new. We need renewed, but yeah, I haven't been there for a while. But
Yeah. So when you were little, what got you involved in sports? You have someone like an older, was it your older brother or
my
family
brother
member?
played baseball now, but he wasn't really. Yeah, he was a wrestler more than anything. I just was a little
Gravitated towards.
bratty little kid that just picked up a ball and was playing all the time, and
Yeah.
being a typical boy running around and just
Yeah.
having a ball or whatever I could do. And I remember one time we lived in Hermitage for a little while, and we were lifetime members of Crabapple Pool.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I
So
remember.
our
Great
family
pool.
was one of the ones that originally started that years and years ago, of course. And so long story short, I think I was 6 years old, and I was in the swimming pool swimming, and I remember the coach that was a friend of my family. They yelled to me, come on over to play, come over to play. So I got out of the pool, and everybody had uniforms on, and I was in my tennis shoes and no shirt and a pair of shorts.
Swim
And they
trunks.
put me on a team,
Yeah.
and I played a game without no uniform, and then that's kind of where I started.
Where you
No
started when you were a
kidding.
kid.
And then we moved to Norwin. Yeah, like we lived over there just temporary because my family was over there.
Yeah.
Then we moved to Norwin, and then I started getting into just running down the playground, and then
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the stewards being coaches for NCAA football, baseball, basketball, whatever.
Yeah.
And living up the street. That was the start.
Kenny was another wonderful person to help us
Yeah.
with.
Good dude.
He would spend time with you.
He was very,
and
very dedicated kid.
yeah, and he would
Yeah.
help you. Because he was older. I mean, how much older is he than you? A couple?
When I was a sophomore, he was a senior. Yeah, so 2
yeah, a
years.
couple
2
years
years.
older than you. But he always spent time with us kids too. He's 7 years older than us, and he's still
Dude, he was a
football.
freak.
I played modified softball with him up in Greensburg League for a couple of years.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal.
Oh, he's crazy.
Yeah, but talk about athletes,
Fastest
right?
white boy I know.
Ever.
I was gonna say.
Well, I'm sure you're not. Tons of people probably said
Remember
that,
him
right?
and him and Kowalson were in the backfield. That
It was
year.
incredible.
They were
1,000
really
yarders,
good.
both of them.
Both of them.
Cooper was a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah,
Benny Bailey was a wide receiver.
receiver. Yeah,
Yeah, they were loaded.
There was yeah.
They were loaded.
Coach
Alan
Yaccino.
Lukart.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they were loaded.
They were
Steve
loaded.
Socrates.
Shaska was on there.
linebacker.
Troy.
Troy was a running back at
Yeah.
times. Yeah. And then
Yeah, I
he got,
think Joey
he was
might
like a
have been
junior.
on
I
there.
think.
Joey Hart,
Oh, was he?
maybe.
Joey Hart was on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joey Hart was on
Yeah,
there.
they were loaded.
They were tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, Golaski was on there.
Yep.
Joe.
Oh yeah,
Glasgow,
Glasky was
yeah.
on there.
But Kenny always, spent so much time. I really appreciate him. And remember he played in our golf league at Irwin.
Oh
for
God, he was
He
hilarious.
was great in our golf league. It was
He
unbelievable.
was
He
hilarious.
was like the pulse of the place.
I remember when
Yeah.
I was a sophomore, we lost at Penn Hills in the WBA championship. He broke his arm.
Okay.
We were playing, can't remember who it was. He couldn't play.
Yeah.
Well, guy got on first base, right? So we
Yeah.
pinch run him.
Oh yeah.
Fast. He stole second and third. And on a pitch back to the pitcher, he stole home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The dude was like he turned.
He's
your,
a freak.
He was a freak.
I never saw anyone.
And he used to
faster.
pull he had an afro.
Yeah, yeah.
So he'd pull his
Yeah.
hair out the earmuffs, and it looked like a big, like it was crazy.
Yeah.
He was just a character.
Oh, he was.
Oh yeah, and he went to Cal, and he had a good career down there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I
I
think he
did.
ended up having a bad hip pointer or something
Yeah.
one time, I remember.
Yeah.
A good dude.
Yeah.
So when you were a kid, did Poole have that basketball thing in the summertime, Mr. Kulczynski?
Yes.
The clinic or whatever?
Yep.
Down the playground. And I used to get thrown out because I'd throw a behind the back pass.
Oh, yeah. He didn't
It'd
like
be
that.
a perfect pass. The guy would make a layup, and he would throw me.
He
did
threw
that-
me out.
He did that during the season too when I played for him.
Yeah, he didn't like.
I was this bad guy, I guess.
Oh, he always had a bad guy.
Yeah.
There's always,
Every year.
Every year.
Yeah.
I used to like to go to that clinic, but
I would be disruptive if you.
Yeah, I still love the guy. I see him all the time.
nice
Not as much
guy.
now because he's not feeling real good, I guess. But
Yeah.
I used to see him a lot with Drew was coaching Norwin.
Yeah, he's a good
Up
dude.
until the last couple of years, but yeah, I respect the guy. When I played for him, I kind of was mad at him because I'd never started. I mean, I was a senior, made all second team, all section.
Yeah.
Never started one game.
That's crazy.
And I was captain in football, captain in baseball.
I was going to say, I don't remember you.
Not in
not-
basketball.
I
He
don't
allowed me
remember
to
you
give
not starting.
Yeah, no, I never started.
Oh, I thought you did, but
Nope, not one game.
But I tell you what, he was a good coach.
He was a great coach.
Yeah.
I'm not
Off
saying-
the
that's what I'm saying.
charts.
he was a great
He
coach.
shouldn't have been in high school. He should
Yeah.
probably been in
Yeah.
college
Could have
ball.
been a college.
Oh,
He
for
just,
sure.
Like if he got mad at you though, he
Oh, you were in the doghouse.
doghouse. I
A
remember
lot of those
this.
guys are disciplinarians.
I was in the doghouse most of the time. Like I said, the old saying is Clem and them would come to all the games, and I'd have an open 10-footer, and I'd shoot it. And as I was shooting, I was already walking to the bench because the horn was sounding before it even went through the net,
Yeah.
or if it was a missed shot, because I wasn't allowed to shoot. I had to give it to Danny Stu
Yeah.
or Ricky or somebody like that. I wasn't allowed to shoot.
So you were like a distributor of the
I
ball.
was a distributor
Yeah.
when I was in there.
And then how did you get so involved in baseball and get so good at that?
Well, I mean, I
Like,
just enjoyed playing it, and I played it all the time.
so you went from NCAA and then did you go to Pony League? And
Yeah, I went right through all NCAA.
then, all the way.
Yeah.
And then did you do American Legion
I
and
did
all that
American
stuff?
Legion, yep.
Yeah.
Then I coached American Legion in the 90s. We had 3 years I coached, and we won the district my second year.
Oh,
We were
really?
26-7. I got a big,
Trophy.
6-foot trophy at home.
Did you?
Nice.
Yeah. Rocky, a guy's name like Johnny Tavares was on the team.
Yeah.
Rocky Plazio.
Oh, yeah, I coached those kids in
Matt
football.
Matovich.
Yeah.
Those were all my guys that I had. Like I called
Yeah.
it my sophomore, junior, senior year because I coached 3 years.
Oh, nice.
And then I gave it up after that. But
Yeah.
the high school team would win 3 games. I'd get them a week later. We'd go 18-9. And then the second year, they said, well, Norwin's going to do good. They had a great Legion. Standard Observer was always the paper.
Yeah.
They'd write a nice article, and then they'd come out and they'd win 2 games their second year.
Yeah.
I get them a week later. We go 26-7, win the district, lose to Belfont in the Legion Championships up at Pitt Johnstown.
I thought your year or something. Didn't you go to WPLs in baseball or something?
Sophomore year.
Who
Sophomore year.
coached you,
Sophomore year,
Shirley?
my freshman year was Shirley. Then
Yeah.
he had a lot of people quit.
Yeah.
Then he resigned.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when
Les
Mr.
Horvath.
Trump got
Oh, no.
Mr. Horvath took
Horvath.
over. Yep. And that was my sophomore year, and we went to the WPL championship. We lost.
Yeah.
We beat Danny Marino,
Right. Yeah.
Pittsburgh Central, the game before, and then we lost to Penn
Did
Hills.
Danny pitch?
He did.
Did
yeah. yeah.
No kidding.
Yep. I got a single off him. Infield
Did you?
single. Yep.
There you go. Digging it out.
In fact, I had a picture in the Post Gazette of it because I slid into first
Did you?
and beat it out.
To
That
get
was
beat it
part of
out,
yeah.
right.
But we ended up winning.
Ernst was the ultimate hustler.
Oh, I can
I
still
always
remember it even
Always
as a little
did.
kid. Always getting giving it
He was
up.
all
So I instilled that in my kids. My older
Yeah.
daughter's doing pretty good. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah, she going the West Virginia Wesleyan.
Yes.
You said, huh?
Yep. Just
Her name's
committed
Bella
yesterday.
Grace, right?
Bella Grace is her middle name, man.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's special. Congratulations.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
You're
You
welcome.
worked hard for it.
Oh yeah,
Got
nothing
a
comes
big
easy.
senior year come up. We got some good returning player. We should do pretty good again this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
Nice.
One thing I wanted to ask you too, Ern, because you 5 years older than us, and you were around when like soccer got a start back. I know you didn't play it; you played a little bit with it, but maybe tell us a little bit about how that came about with Tom Hensler.
Again, Tom Hensler was everybody knew, we called him Swinging World. I mean, there's a lot of nicknames.
Big dude.
Big Tom.
Heavy Hens.
Heavy hands.
But great guy, great
Yeah.
coach. He was a phenomenal basketball guy. He coached me in basketball. Anyways, we were all at Penguin one day, and the refreshment stand was open. We're all having snacks, and then he goes, "Hey, I think we ought to start a soccer program." And
Yeah.
I didn't. I just okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't playing soccer,
Right.
But like Scotty Vickers and Eddie Parr and Daryl Butler and
Yeah, I remember
Clem
that.
and
Jeff,
and Dave Jacobs, who
Dave
lived there.
Jacobs
They all
lived right
lived in
there.
the
by
area.
lived there.
So he went out and bought these orange cones, and we, the fence wasn't up in. Like
Try to learn
baseball.
how to play soccer.
And they just started playing, kicking the ball around, and had like 8-10 people. And then, okay, we'll do it again. And it was the next day or a couple of days later, there was like 15 or 20.
Right.
So then they had like 10 on a 10 or whatever. And then, actually, no, it just took off. And
Yeah.
and so people to tell you they know how to soccer.
It did.
Hensler started
It
the
did.
soccer room. It went into a club sport because
Yep.
back then you weren't allowed to just be a varsity. So they got uniforms and they were sponsored by some people. Tom Hensler sponsored them.
Yeah.
Put a team together and they were beating up the teams in the.
Yeah.
Oh, I
WPL.
remember they were winning all
Yeah,
the
they
time.
were.
And they become a high school sport.
Yeah.
And what's crazy was, I don't know if you guys remember the Racket Club.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is now
sure.
a core
Sure.
event center. They took out the Racket Club's right side when you walk
Yeah,
in.
the tennis courts.
Took
Yeah,
the tennis courts out, and it was all like a foam turf. And they put 2 goalie nets in
I
it.
can remember.
And they had an indoor
Soccer.
league that
Yeah.
was best
People
around.
came from all over.
Every school, Upper St. Clair, Baldwin, all
Yeah.
the top schools came there and played for. Oh man, that league was phenomenal for a
I
couple
mean,
of years.
You think about it. Western Pennsylvania, back in the day, we were football heaven. Like Tennessee and Georgia and Florida is now where they recruit guys out of. Pittsburgh was like that, right? I just read a thing on. Did you know Terry Hanratty was from Butler, PA?
Yes, I knew
I
that.
just read that today. Do you know
I
he
didn't
was
know
from
that.
Butler?
No, no idea.
And he talked about when he was a kid, Pittsburgh, Western Pennsylvania was football central, right? Like Texas and Florida. And then that soccer really never, ever was here. It might have been somewhere else on the coast or something, United States, until Tom Hensler. And I'm a witness of what you're saying. You're older than me. I remember him coming down my house, and there's 2 or 3 of us down there, and he called my parents and said, hey, can I get down and talk to your boys? And he said, hey, I want to start soccer. We're like, soccer? What is soccer? We didn't even know what it was.
Even I didn't know soccer.
We didn't even know what it was.
Right.
Right? So you were one of the older boys right there with him trying to,
I think
turn
I
it
was
over
like,
dirt.
I want to say I was either a sophomore or junior in high school
Yeah.
when that happened.
I was probably,
So 77, 78, something
I
like
was probably
79.
12 or 13, so that's about the exact right time.
Yeah. And like I said, then Daryl Butler and
Yep.
Clem and Vickers, and then the next thing you know, it was like everybody was coming out playing it.
Yeah.
And they were good and fast. And
And you know what? He never gave up. He would go to different kids' houses who knew to play sports, and he just wanted to build a
again,
program.
he built the program, and then once it got into high school, it never stopped.
Yeah,
it just
took over.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
great.
won.
And then he had the soccer and stuff store right there
Oh yeah,
on Route 30,
On 30.
behind the monument there, by the old Norwin Diner.
Yeah.
And he had that there for many years.
Yeah.
Until he ended up passing away. But
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so back. And then football, I want to touch real briefly on that because we had a really good coach there for a while with Yaccino.
Yeah.
And you played for him, right,
Yes, I
John?
was captain in 1980 with it.
1980.
For him, yep.
Was that his last year?
That was his last year, and he went to Texas
Okay, he
for
went
about
down
8
there.
years, and then he came back, interviewed for the Hempfield job,
Okay.
and didn't get it. That's when they hired that Pitt coach, Gene Epley, I think his name.
Yeah, I remember the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach
Yeah.
Pitt, and he
Yeah.
took the high school job, and then he stayed back at in Texas, and then when the Penn Trafford job opened up, he came there and he made Penn Trafford.
Yeah,
I don't-
powerhouse.
I don't care what anybody says.
He turned
I
them.
get arguments. Some of these people's. He made Penn Trafford what they are today, with all his workouts and the run and shoot. Nobody knew how to stop it.
No, I remember
they
going to.
couldn't stop
I
it.
remember
Texas.
going to a couple games. I might have went with you to a couple games at Penn Trafford.
Every year, his receivers,
Yeah.
his quarterbacks, from Zimmerman to Palladino.
Well, he
to
created a tradition of winning in Penn
And even his
Trafford.
own, remember his son was a quarterback,
and
really good.
Mario.
Yeah, Mario. Yeah, young Mario.
It was
Yeah.
they're great players. Yeah, but he was
Yeah.
when he went to Penn Trafford, a lot of people weren't happy about that because they
Right,
paid
I
him big
remember.
money. He was making money with guys with doctors and teachers
Yeah.
with doctors' degree. He did not like it, and then he taught. I think he was the truant officer or whatever
Was he?
for kids that were in trouble after
Yeah.
school. That was his work study or whatever he did.
For the school.
Yeah.
But I never will forget watching the games because we were never used to a run and shoot ever. We were, I don't know, Norwin, we ran the wishbone.
He brought that up from Texas.
Yeah, nobody could realize that there's no back.
Right.
Backfield.
Yeah, no one could figure
Everybody's
out
going
what to
out
do.
for a pass, like hide it up in the middle and go.
Yeah, and he ran a lot of vertical routes
Yeah.
where the linebackers couldn't get to the curl.
That's
he just
it.
crushed people.
And and I remember he was in my bar Mr. Mike's. I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys know.
Yeah.
He was in my restaurant here about right before, probably a year or so before he died. He was actually here. They honored him at a Penn Trafford game. He was honorary captain.
Oh, nice.
So he was home, and then they all came down my restaurant. So I got to talk to him for a while. He told me the story that the reason he left Penn Trafford was that he got called in because he was running up the score on teams.
Okay.
And they said, we don't appreciate it. We're getting calls from other schools,
Right.
and ADs. You run a score. He said, I don't run the score up.
Yeah, they just can't stop it.
His only problem is he would say, beginning of the week, that he'll beat somebody by 40, and if they only won by 35,
Right.
he would say, well, we should have beat him by 50.
Yeah.
So he got him, but
Yeah.
that's the way he was.
How did you end up at Point Park? You were recruited probably for other things besides baseball. You were recruited probably for other things besides baseball.
I went for football to Lockhaven State College.
Oh, you
No,
did
did you go to
first?
Lockhaven?
Yeah, the time with Lockhaven. Went up there in June. It stayed there all June and July. They had just won the conference the year before.
Yeah.
They were good.
They were good football team. I went up there and I played football, and they had a free safety that was all conference. They moved him to cornerback, and I was actually starting free safety.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
And I went there all summer. And I used to go to coach's house and eat dinner. And I
Yeah.
was taking 2 classes so that I wouldn't have to load down in the fall for my first year. So I was up there all summer. Great campus, great. The coach's name was Russ Carmen. He was a coach, and then Jack Fisher was the head coach. And they came down to see me like twice at Norwin. And long story short, I went up there, stayed there all summer, loved the football team. Well, I wanted to go to Point Park. That was my goal was to play baseball. There was a kid from Mount Pleasant at Lockhaven that played baseball. He goes, Ernie, you don't want to stay here for baseball. He goes, our field's a half hour away, and the only ones that come is the umpires and the 2 teams and maybe a couple parents.
That's it.
And it's cold up here, Lockhaven. Penn State. So he goes, if you want to play baseball, this ain't the place to come.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I really did, but I enjoyed playing football. I loved it, and I was a good hitter. So, next thing you know, my mother called and said, "Hey, Point Park just called. They will accept your transcript."
As is, without losing any credits and all
Right.
that. Yeah.
Well, those 2 classes transferred.
Oh,
I took,
there you
but I had to go tell the coaches.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah.
And our game was September 7th. I think it was the first game. This was like September 5th.
Oh,
And I was starting free safety. They moved the cornerback.
Yeah.
They moved the free safety. It was all conference
Yeah.
to cornerback, and I was starting free safety. And I called a meeting with them and went to see him. And my gosh, I can't tell you some of the words they said. But I ended up leaving there. I went and played Point Park. In my first 2 years there, I played basketball. I made the basketball team.
Oh, did you?
So I played 2 years of basketball, but I was there for baseball, 4 years of baseball.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. And then, ironically, about 4 years later, those 2 coaches were on a recruiting trip, and they were in a crash and both got killed. The head coach,
No,
the
sir.
head coach and
Of Lockhaven and Point Park.
Lockhaven coaches that recruited me for football. They
They
got
both
killed.
passed away.
Yeah, they were on a recruiting trip riding together, and they were in a crash and both
Oh,
got
that's
killed.
horrible.
That's crazy. And then you went there, and then you used to play in, was it the Daily News League?
Daily
and
News,
all
well,
that?
mainly the Dairy Unity League was Latrobe, Blairsville, all those teams. I played a little bit down at Daily News, but not as much because it was more traveling towards Pittsburgh. And where we're at, going to Pittsburgh at 5 o'clock was
Tough.
Yeah.
And so how long did you stick with fastball?
I played baseball until my 50s.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. I played on 2 teams, over 28 teams.
Told you, every time I've ever seen Ernie, he had a ball in his
and
hand.
over 38 team. And we traveled. I mean, we played tournaments, and
Yeah.
I was in 2 leagues. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. You miss it?
I remember when you were first.
You got
I
to
still
miss it.
hit. I mean, I still hit. Every time I go to the Norwin NSSA, and I'll hit.
Yeah, you go to the cages and hit.
I do.
Oh,
I played baseball during baseball.
heck yeah.
Football,
Yeah.
basketball.
Yeah, we all did.
And then
That's
if I
what we
played
did.
baseball in the summer, and we had that summer league down in White Oak. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
I remember
They had
that.
the
Yeah,
outdoor
yeah.
court, indoor court. All the top teams would be down there. You ought to have a baseball game, and then I'd get down there at 8 o'clock. Play a basketball game.
I remember that.
The White Oak Athletic
Tommy
Association.
Flynn.
I like that
Penn Hills,
building.
remember
Oh,
Tommy
yeah.
Flynn?
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Flynn played. I remember guarding him at Penn Hills.
Oh, from Pitt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a hell of a football
He
player.
played Penn Hills.
Yeah,
he
Penn
was
Hills.
quarterback, dude. They were
Yeah.
everything.
I knew it was somewhere I did.
They were
know.
loaded
He
with
was
Freilich and him.
and
all them.
Freilich. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were,
a bunch
they
of
were
They were loaded. That's when they graduated 1,100 kids.
Yep.
1,100.
Well, I
You
had
know,
700
Butler had
graduate-
something like that.
Yeah,
Butler's
Butler.
like
I
1,000
had
or something.
700 graduate in my class.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah,
You
you were
had a
the
big
biggest,
class.
I
I
think.
think it was a 7-11. I think we had.
Yeah, you were one of the biggest out of Norwin
Sure,
ever.
Tammy's class was pretty big too. Tammy and
No,
Ann's-
no, it was
their class was big.
Brian and your group were the bigger ones.
Brown was
Oh,
a couple
really?
years-
Yeah, Brian would have been 82. I think they're the biggest one ever, like 750 or something.
Yeah.
You were
Really?
711.
Crazy.
Yeah.
People say, you remember all your kids in school? I said, I remember everybody. I just didn't know if they were a sophomore, junior, or senior.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I see people, unless you played sports with me, and I
Yeah.
knew you were a junior and I was a senior. I don't know if you were in 11th grade, 10th grade, 9th grade. I mean,
Yeah, there's a lot of kids in his schools back in the day, huh?
Yeah.
And the schools were smaller. I think probably a lot of the high schools
they
were
were
smaller,
pretty much
but there was more kids in them, right?
Yeah.
Tons more. Double the
yeah.
population.
I don't even know. What do they have now, Norwin?
like
400 or something?
Four something, yeah.
Four-
In the 400, yeah.
475 maybe. They're still a pretty big program.
Yeah,
for,
it's. I mean, they're still 6A. I mean,
and it's
they're
gotten
still,
bigger, right?
Yeah.
I always thought with all these homes that were built, the Schuster homes and all
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
all these plans around there, that we'd be like back 600, 700, 800 kids, but it's not really.
Nobody has any kids like
Yeah, I
that.
just think, you think when we were little, the Kegs had like 4 or 5 and the Stewarts had 6 and everyone had bunches.
Yeah.
Dickelman's had 4,
They weren't scared of having kids.
No,
A lot of families had.
cold winters.
Yeah. You didn't have any cable TV. You couldn't watch Netflix.
Do, I guess.
That's right.
No flip phones. No
Banging boots.
Yeah. So before we wrap up and everything, when did you? I know you worked for the county for a while,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
For quite a long time.
Yeah, I was an auditor for 9 years.
And then when did
I
you
went-
buy the Mr. Mike's? How
I
long
bought
has
that.
been?
Well, I worked for the water company. I went to the water company. I was there 17 years.
Uh-huh.
I retired 2008 from there,
Okay.
and that's when I bought. I retired, got married, and bought Mr. Mike's all in the same month,
Wow.
May of 2008.
You know his wife Angela, right?
Oh, yeah, I know the whole
She's-
family
yeah,
well.
So everything happened the month of May 2008.
Really?
Retired, bought the bar, and got married.
Married. That's fabulous.
And then I retired for 7 years and had 2 daughters,
All right.
Ella and
Right.
Josephina. And then I was bored.
Right.
Yeah, I was a play dad. Every day we went to Chick-fil-A.
Right.
Until the little one was able to eat Chick-fil-A. Then we always went.
Yeah.
That was our big thing. We go to Chick-fil-A 3 or 4 days a week, and while we
Yeah.
went for it, run the restaurant.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I decided I wanted to go back to work, and then I got a job at the Turnpike.
Oh, you did?
I worked a year there, and then I was just getting ready to go on a crew because I had a CDL license.
Yeah.
And Rich Albert, our boss from North Huntington,
Yeah.
Yeah.
said
I
there
know
was a
Rich
job
real
there.
well.
Yeah.
Great guy.
He's retiring next Thursday's his last day.
Is
Oh,
it?
is he? Well,
So
good for him.
he said, "Hey, we got an opening if you want." I said, "Yeah, I'll take it."
That's
Yeah.
fabulous.
So I went there, and I've been there 10 years. But the main thing is, I should have. If hindsight says, if I stayed at the water company, I was making big money. Then I would have been a foreman or
Yeah.
a boss,
Yeah.
or I could have been retired by now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
But you still have the bar.
Like
Yeah,
I
it's a
said,
restaurant. I still have the bar.
Hey,
Bar
still
restaurant.
have. Let me tell you that pizza. Now, listen, I got bit by a tick, and I got celiac disease, so I can't eat wheat.
Right.
One of the things I miss the most is Mr. Mike's pizza.
We have
that greasy
we have-
pepperoni
we
on it,
have-
I love
we
it.
have the
Crunchy edges.
What's the pizza dough? I can't think of. I'm drawing a blank here.
I don't know, but it's good
For
stuff.
people that can't eat.
Oh, you have
it's
but it's
gluten-free.
not the same
Gluten-free.
dough.
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free.
But it's not, you know what I
Couldn't think
mean?
of the word, yeah,
It's
gluten-
not the dough, and it's not a pizza.
Gluten-free is still pretty good, I think.
You know what? If you had a gluten free pizza, you wouldn't know the difference.
Oh,
Yeah.
he
People
eats
tell
it.
me that.
He has to.
It's because of the crust. I can never eat gluten forever now. Yeah, it sucks. No
But
beer,
I love your
no
pizza, too, the pepperoni.
Yeah, it's a.
But I got to be careful
home run.
because Sylvania, we had him on here.
He
might
has
flip
great
out.
pizza.
No,
You know he has.
He's always had great pizza.
He's yeah. I mean he that's.
Yeah, I don't want these.
It's in
two-
his
I don't-
blood.
Both have
Nah,
red
it's-
hair.
yeah,
I don't
that's
want them
all
to
right.
get
Yeah.
fired up.
We keep it in the family.
The Furno with the red hair, the Furno.
Yeah, but
coming at you.
Sylvania too, red
Oh,
hair.
yeah,
We
they
got
both.
the familiar. That's
There has
Yeah.
to be something going on.
But you
with
got to admit they're both great pies.
Oh, absolutely.
They're both really good
Great
pies
people,
and
too.
good people. That's what I was just going to say.
And
That's
you
the
also
compliment.
have that bus sandwich, right? The steak
steak
sandwich.
bus.
Oh, God.
Somebody just put on there, where's a great steak hoagie? I put in there, Mr. Mike's. Just come down, try it once. If you don't like it, I'll buy it back off you.
Yeah, right.
I said, just give it a try.
Yeah, that's fabulous. And the wings, too.
Yes,
I really like that.
I enjoy every show you guys do.
Oh, thank you.
And I have
Yeah.
great laughs, and some of the stuff you talk about was just really, really great.
Well, what we did when we grew up, I think it was precious, you know what I mean? And I'm thankful
Ain't
for
nothing
it.
like those times.
No, I'm
I tell
thankful
my
for
kids that they don't know nothing about that stuff. You sleep with your screen door open, and
Yeah,
you never had to worry about anybody.
it's true.
But there were people, though, that at least helped me, it shaped my
for
life. And it
sure.
was like you and Clem and Wysocki and Stu and Teak and, my brother and Tart and all them. They let you,
Well, kids
They let you in on the action. You know, you let us in on the action. You didn't have to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you could just say, "Go away, kid." Right.
Right.
But someone probably let you guys in on the action. You know what I mean?
Well, when I was in 8th grade, I played down at the pickup games.
Yeah.
I was at East on Mondays, West on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Playground in the summer every day. But Polchinski would never let me play like that again.
Yeah.
But I'd get down there, and there'd be 40 people down there. I mean, there was guys who were, 23, 24, 25 years old who were players. And I would play. They'd pick me before all these people. And I was a player. Yeah, we play to 11, win by 2. And if you win, you stay on.
Yeah.
And when you win 2 games, you sit for 1 game, and then you go back on as a winner.
Yeah.
I would get picked over all these players. And, I used to tell my wife, she'd laugh at me. I'd say, I'd score 8 out of 11 points. I was only in 8th grade. These guys were college and out of college.
Oh, that playground scene.
It was great.
So much basketball down there.
I remember the time, I'll tell you the story. Doug Plank comes down.
Yeah.
Doug Plank from the Bears.
North
From the
Irwin.
Bears. And he was playing. Okay?
Oh, he was playing with the
He'd
Bears.
come down, and we're having a game.
Yeah.
And this guy was massive, not very tall, 5'10".
Doug.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a professional athlete.
His arms and legs were like the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
Okay, that's what he looked like.
Right.
And we're playing a game. Well, he wants to play.
Doug Plank was there, huh? That's cool.
True story. Takes his shirt off. I looked like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
I remember I got a breakaway, and I'm going down the court, down to the hoop. That's the bank by the O'Connell's house.
Yeah,
Right at Zoki's, yeah.
And I go up and I lay it up, and I'm up by the rim, and I'm laying it up. All of a sudden, I feel this hip on my shoulder. And it's him, and he pinned the ball on the bankboard and just hit me. And thank God I went for the posts, for the poles.
Yeah.
I went between them.
Because thank God they had them.
They're only
yes.
shoulder width wide.
Yeah, thank God.
And I went through the two of them and ended up like 3/4 way up that bank.
Yeah, and
And everybody was like, and he come over and helped me up. And you okay? Dude, I was just amazed.
Dude, he was a freak.
He was a freak.
Baseball, too. Baseball, too.
Best.
They said he could have went to MLB.
Best athlete ever come on Norwin. He had 11 letters.
Nuh-uh. 11.
11 letters.
Yeah, dude, he was
Yeah, I know.
physical.
Yeah. If you ever go on YouTube, look him up. They have a thing, a hit reel with him on there.
He was nuts.
I'm coaching the Norwin girls varsity softball now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm varsity coach.
Nice.
Yeah, we lost the WPL championship last year.
Oh.
I knew that.
We upset Pine Richland.
I didn't know
we beat
you were
Hempfield,
coaching
who
them.
was
Yeah, studs.
state champs.
Yeah.
They were already.
Quayle with you then.
No, Quayle left last year. So
He left.
I went in.
And you took
Brian
it.
Message asked me to coach.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was going to coach
fantastic.
Woodland Hills baseball, and then that didn't pan out. And then I ended up going there, and he asked me to coach. I said, "Yeah, I'd love to."
That's fantastic.
So I played 11 years of fast pitch in Greensburg, so I knew the game. Plus
Yeah.
it's baseball, just it's women playing
yeah.
softball. And we upset Hempfield, which was, we beat Pine Richland. It was a major shot. When we beat Hempfield,
Yeah, they were the
WPL
dogs,
channels.
man. Yeah.
And then we went
Hempfield.
against the number 1 pitcher in the country. She's going to be a senior this year. Her name's Lexi Hames from Seneca Valley.
Oh, is
She
that
good,
right?
huh?
70 mile an hour. She's a big girl, about 6'2".
Wow.
Dude, first time up we played them, first game, she had 20 out of 21 strikeouts. We only lost 2, not she had a 2-run homer.
Oh, my.
She did.
So, yeah. Then we played them the next
She's the
time.
pitcher and hits
She's a
home.
pitcher and she's a phenomenal.
Phenomenal
So
athlete.
then we
period.
play her again, second home and away series.
Yeah.
Play them again. This time I taught everybody just to hold the bat out and wait for it to come and just
Try to-
choke and poke right, left,
Yeah,
wherever.
just
the
Try to
pitch
get
was.
some meat on it.
And we played better, but we still lost. She had like 15 strikeouts.
Right.
So now we make playoffs, 4th place team, and we got hot. We were playing good, and we beat Pine Richland, upset. They beat us both games during the season. And we played Hempfield. They beat us both games. We should put them in a coma. The people in Hempfield are still going over, nuts over that. I'm telling you.
Because you didn't have that West Point out there.
Well, they have a great program up
They are
there.
the best. They're the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah,
And
they
then
have a great program.
we get to the finals, and we're playing Seneca Valley
Seneca
with this
Valley.
girl, and we're barreling the ball up, and we got some people. Then she had a little problem. We're winning 3-0 into the 5th.
No way.
In the WPL championship, there's 2,000 people watching the game.
Oh, my goodness. I
mean,
didn't
it
know
was big
this.
crowds. All of a sudden, from the 5th inning on, she got on her groove, and
Yeah.
she was blowing it by us, and we were getting some dribblers and stuff, strikeouts, and then all of a sudden the 5th come on, they got a run. It was 3-1 in the 5th. Come to the 6th, they got another run. It was 3-2. I'm like, we needed 4 outs to win the WPL championship. We would have shocked the world.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, they get a run in the bottom of the 7th to tie it up.
Oh.
And now we hadn't had a hit since the 5th inning. We come in at the top of the 8th. We get one guy on, and she strikes out the side or whatever it was. And then they come in. They got a girl on, bunted her up. We got 1 out, and then another girl got out. The girl hit a single between first and second. I could say not a single. It was a clean single, but
Yeah.
just almost made the play. And he come around and scored. We lost 4-3.
Oh my goodness, that's so sad.
You know, it's amazing as you can see the passion on Ernie's face.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
So when he was a little kid with a ball in his hand, the passion to
just tell you
the age he is now, the passion he has
Let
about
me just
ball.
tell you, I always go to all the sporting events, and I see the WPL championships, and I see these people getting their medals.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter got one for WPL champs last year. Greatest thing, right? Well, I didn't know because we were runners up. We're getting medals.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you get a medal.
So I'm on. I wasn't there.
Oh, yeah.
So we're lining up, and I'm like, oh my God, this might be the best moment of my life. I've had MVP awards and all tourney teams and trophies from little kid all the way up to in my 40s of travel teams and all tourney teams and softball tournament. This, and I told the girls on my dad, I said, this is probably the most unbelievable. I was tearing up.
Oh, I'm sure.
Good for you, man.
At the banquet, I couldn't finish.
Good for you,
It
Ern.
was, and I said, this goes down as probably the biggest thing in my life, and we were this close of being a gold
my
one instead
goodness.
of silver.
But
it's hanging on my dresser.
That's right, man.
And the team pictures there, and every day I get up and I see it every day.
Oh, good for you.
So
Yeah, it's been great, buddy. Thank you for coming in.
Ernie Furno.
Thank you.
Ernie
Ladies
Furno,
and gentlemen.
everybody.
I'm looking forward to all your
Legendary.
episodes. Keep it going because one of these days you're going to hit it good.
You think?
You guys are gonna- I'm
when
telling you.
Taylor Swift gets here,
I'm
we get
telling you.
those.
You guys are going to hit it good.
They're all
I'm telling you.
Sharpie.
Well, we'll see. But
We're having a good
it's
time.
fun no matter what happens.
And you know what? Sharing stories about Western Pennsylvania.
Oh,
and
I do want to
Pittsburgh
say
is
one
awesome.
thing.
Yeah.
Clem, my man, is the mayor.
Yeah.
Mayor Irwin.
He's doing great.
Yeah, he's
Did you
doing
see what he did with
doing
the
very well.
playground?
Yes.
And he did with the Pennsylvania Avenue, Penguin Fields.
Penguin Fields,
He
yeah.
they redid all that stuff.
All new screens.
Screens, fencing,
yep, new
courts.
blacktop.
That's awesome.
So, Jeff, you're doing a great job.
Good job, man.
Want to let you
He
know
is
that.
doing a good job.